In the veil of shadows, they emerge, a mysterious manifestation, barely glimpsed on the edge of sight or lurking in the quiet corners of dimly lit rooms. These figures, known as shadow people, have become the focal point of an ever-intensifying investigation. What fuels this curiosity is our struggle to comprehend these elusive entities. Theories swirl around them like whispers in the night. Some suggest they might be spectral beings, donning a cloak of even greater mystery, while others propose a different origin, perhaps time travelers or inhabitants of a realm that lies beyond our grasp, entities that defy our earthly understanding, maybe even visitors from distant galaxies. Could it be that shadow people embody all these speculations, or do they harbor something more ominous, more foreboding, lurking in the shadows? Have you ever had that peculiar sensation of catching a fleeting glimpse in your peripheral vision, wondering if it was a person or just a trick of the shadows? Well, what you saw might just have been a shadow person. Unlike spirits or ghosts, these entities are defined by their deep inky darkness. They are formless, lacking the telltale signs of human features or discernible attire. These mysterious figures take on a human-like form, as if sculpted from the very essence of shadows themselves. Their size can be as imposing as an adult, or as diminutive as a child. They haunt room corners, and move seamlessly through walls, displaying an uncanny agility once they know they've captured your attention. Although sightings of shadow people usually stay on the periphery of your vision, some unlucky souls have faced them head-on, and here's an eerie detail: those who've encountered them often speak of their eyes, piercing, glowing orbs of red. While shadow people are often compared to the ethereal specters of ghostly tales, their behavior sets them apart from other spirit phenomena. Unlike the wispy orbs or ectoplasmic emanations we associate with haunted places, these shadowy figures seem to operate by an entirely different set of rules. They appear in solitude, without the usual signs of spectral activity, and this unique behavior fuels speculation that they could be residents of an alternate dimension, extraterrestrial visitors, time travelers, or perhaps something even beyond our current grasp. A standout among these mysterious figures is the Hat Man, who possesses all the familiar traits of shadow people, but earns his name from the distinctive fedora hat perched atop his shadowy form. Encounters with the Hat Man have been documented as far back as the late 2000s, and this mysterious figure is often associated with experiences of sleep paralysis. Intriguingly, he's also been linked to hallucinations induced by the recreational use of diphenhydramine, the active component in the medication Benadryl. If indeed shadow people are spirits or ghosts, one theory paints them as souls adrift in this plane of existence. They arrive without the distinct facial features or recognizable clothing that typically accompany other spectral apparitions. It hints at a delay in their acceptance of their current state of being, leaving them devoid of the radiant glow most spirits acquire upon transitioning to the next realm after death, but to us, they appear as mere shadows. This theory suggests that these shadowy souls might be trapped, unable to progress, and while they may exude an aura of melancholy and weightiness, they might not necessarily harbor malevolent or demonic intentions. Another tantalizing theory proposes that our perception of them as shadows is influenced by the specific light spectrum in which these enigmatic figures exist. Another chilling hypothesis suggests that these shadowy figures might bear a demonic nature, fueled by the haunting thoughts, often recounted by those who've come face to face with them. The stark contrast to encounters with benign spirits or other entities is striking. Ominous, malevolent, and intrusive thoughts typically signal the presence of something truly sinister. Encounters with shadow people are often accompanied by an overwhelming sense of dread, leaving witnesses with a distinct feeling that they're not in the presence of something once human. The prevailing question, who are shadow people, often veers towards the notion of them being interdimensional entities. The idea of extraterrestrial involvement doesn't seem quite as outlandish as it might initially sound. Many believe that aliens might already be among us, concealing their true forms, while others posit that aliens coexist in a parallel dimension, and these shadows could represent a bridge between our worlds. Another intriguing theory, grounded in concepts of astral beings and time travelers, proposes that these shadows might be astral entities who have inadvertently journeyed between dimensions. Although we still lack a definitive explanation for how these time travelers or astral beings made this dimensional leap, one hypothesis suggests that the feeling of dread during encounters may stem from the jarring impact of a dimensional slip on an unsuspecting human. The mystery of shadow people unravels differently, depending on who you ask. According to scientists, when we catch a glimpse of these elusive figures, it's our brains attempting to make sense of the shapes we see, by piecing together something resembling a human form, with another explanation emerging from the chilling realm of night terrors. In the midst of these haunting experiences, individuals wake to an oppressive weight on their chests, the air thick with an almost tangible dread. As consciousness returns, so does the terror, binding them in a state of complete immobility. Frequently, they're met with the eerie sight of shadowy figures perched upon their chests or lurking in the darkest corners of their rooms. Moreover, several physiological and psychological conditions can account for reported experiences of shadowy shapes seeming alive. A sleep paralysis sufferer may perceive a shadowy or indistinct shape approaching them when they lie awake paralyzed and become increasingly alarmed. A person experiencing heightened emotion, such as while walking alone on a dark night, may incorrectly perceive a patch of shadow as an attacker. Shadow people are commonly reported by people under the effects of deliriant substances such as datura, diphenhydramine, and benzidamine. Finally, visual hallucinations, such as those caused by schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, may appear to be shadowy figures at the edge of peripheral vision. If you happen to catch sight of dark shadows, don't let fear overtake you. It might just be the play of ordinary shadows in a quiet corner of your room. Yet, should you find yourself gripped by an unshakable sense of dread in the stillness of night, and you perceive shadowy forms lurking in the corners, especially if you realize you can't move, you might be in the midst of a night terror. While these episodes can be profoundly unsettling, rest assured that they're ultimately harmless. If you can, try to gently wiggle a finger or toe, and you'll soon break free from the temporary paralysis. As for the true nature of these shadowy figures, the answer eludes us, and they might embody any or all of the phenomena we discussed earlier, or perhaps a fusion of them all, or they could even be souls weighed down and tethered to this plane. One thing's for certain though, you'll never glance at that fleeting shadow out of the corner of your eye quite the same way again. You'll be left wondering whether it was a mere trick of the light or perhaps a glimpse of a shadow person.